So I haven't forgotten about you guys here. Just a few more things to talk about. I want to point out that behind your backs, while you weren't looking, I went ahead and finished up some of the edits by removing those polls. Probably still a couple more I could or should tend to, but for the sake of getting this information to you in a timely manner, I went ahead and stopped myself before it got too long. But yeah, removed some clouds, removed some poles, cleaned up some areas, even removed a couple of cars and a shadow from the road. That's a tough one on the right-hand side. Actually, my layers panel is kind of covering it right now. But I wanted to talk to you about checking your work before you consider it done. For instance, we have in our layers panel here a copy of the background layer. That's the one that we've been doing all of our photo retouching to and modifying pixels. We've got the untouched background layer. I've not touched this layer. I made sure that I always had that background copy selected as I was making my edits so that, covered my assets. In case I needed to go back to something that was on the background layer that was unaffected or untouched, I could. But what this also does is makes it possible for me to make my background copy layer invisible so that I can kind of do this before after sort of thing. So check it out. I'm going to do a before after, right? So by making my background copy invisible, it makes it possible for me to see the original background image before I made edits, right? Because that's an untouched layer. So this is after, before, after, before, after, right? And so what I'm checking for is to make sure that my after version is an improvement, right? That it's not making something worse, or it's not leaving behind pixel evidence that even my grandmother would notice that something is off, right? Same thing with these levels adjustment layers, right? Go through and check your work before you do anything rash, like save as a flattened version and call it quits. But make this levels adjustment layer to your building invisible, 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 visible. Is there an improvement there? Do you still see detail in the shadows? If you're thinking, gosh, I could still make some adjustments to that layer, make it even better, you can always double click on your levels adjustment layer to get that properties panel with your histogram, and you can continue to make some adjustments if you feel like it's still not quite right. Yeah. So for instance, if you want the highlights to be a little bit more brighter than they are without sacrificing detail in the highlights, if you want the midtones to be changed, that's the beauty of this being in a levels adjustment layer, is that you can make these changes to the layer without making the changes to the actual background or background copy, right? You can change your mind because it's in its own layer, these adjustments. So same thing, right? My levels adjustment to my sky. Did I do a good job with that? I don't know. Let's see. Before, after, before, after. I don't know. Maybe I could make my midtones even brighter than they currently are. And so there's always, even my highlights, right? Maybe it's an even brighter, sunnier day than what I had adjusted. Again, I can do before and after, and keep making these adjustments until they're correct, until they're right. Whatever you do, don't start adding more adjustment levels layers on top of adjustment levels layers when really all you need to do is double click and fix what you did wrong with the one adjustment layer that you have for your sky or for your background. Once you have everything that you want to have, now's a good time to make some final adjustments. But those adjustments I'm going to make to the entire image. In order to make those changes and adjustments, I need to first save this as a flattened TIF. Also, the flattened TIF is what I'll be placing into my newsletter for Project 3. We don't place layered files into layouts in desktop publishing software or layout software like InDesign. We don't place layered files from Photoshop into Illustrator either, right? So we need to preserve the fact that this is our layered working file by making sure that as we're saving a flattened TIF version, that we're not saving over top of this layered file. We want this file to always be this working file with all the layers that we can go back and change at any time. Once we flatten this image, we no longer have layers. We can no longer make adjustments to each layer individually. So be very careful this next step. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to save the last changes that I made that I like, and then I'm going to save as, right? When I save as, I'm going to make sure I know where I'm saving it to. I have this Project 1 folder that I created. Inside has my original untouched, well, mildly untouched. I did make sure that the resolution and the color model was correct for that image. I have what you see I have open right now, which is my layered version of the file. And then I'm going to save a third version. That is going to be a TIFF. Make sure you're not just renaming your file TIFF. That's not what makes it a TIFF. You need to make sure that you are selecting a different file format from the Format pull-down menu when you save as a TIFF. The next thing I'm going to do, which is a little scary, is I'm going to uncheck this button called Layers. Now, if I click Save right now, I have not changed the name except to include TIFF on the end, right? This is hairy, scary stuff here. I do not want to flatten this and save over top of my layered file. So I'm going to make sure in the process that I'm very careful to rename, yes, and maybe I'll even add the word flat to it, right? Give it a new name, call it flat. This way here, when I see this file listed on my disk, I know that is my flattened TIFF that I can place into my layout later on. So, I'm making sure I'm renaming it so I don't save over top of my layered file. So I'm going to click Save. And I'm going to make sure for TIFF, again, I'm going to keep my compression at none, and then I'm going to click OK. And you'll notice nothing has changed. The reason why nothing has changed is because I saved it as a copy that was renamed as a TIFF. I still have my Building 2 layered file open, and you can see over here all my layers. I'm going to go ahead and close this and show you inside of my folder what I've done here. I have inside of this folder the untouched. I'll just order these by name here so you can see them in order. Untouched scan. I'll do a quick view so you can see, right? That's the one where all I did was correct the resolution and the color model. I have my layered PSD file. That can be a layered TIFF too, that's okay. The key is that it has the layers and that I have not flattened it, and I can go in and change each of those individual layers after the fact. And then this here is my flattened TIFF. Now, when you see a preview of your image look like this on your disk or in a preview window, don't panic, right? I am just previewing this image. The operating system on your computer does not know how to show things like save selections and layer masks within layers. So it's going to show you some weird stuff sometimes. Don't panic. I promise you, when I open this file in Photoshop, everything is just fine, right? So the preview is not reflective of what the file actually looks like when I open it in Photoshop. Don't want you guys to panic there. So notice, how many layers do I have? I have one, and that's because this is my flattened TIFF, right? But because it's a flattened TIFF, now is a good time to do things like apply an unsharp mask or sharpen the image. Maybe go in with my burn and dodge tools or my blur tools and do some really cool things to it. So I'm going to do that in a separate video, a next video. It'll be my final video for you guys. And I'll show you some other tips, tricks, and techniques you can use to improve this image.